Do you know that most people are born, they observe what's happening in their environment, they observe what's happening in their ever-expanding environment, but by the time they are teenagers, and certainly into their early adulthood, they have pretty much well established their vibrational patterns on almost every subject. So then, as they move through life, not very much changes because those patterns have been so well established. Now, we want to say to you that you can easily change those patterns. You could change them today. You could change them anytime you want to. And if we were standing in your physical shoes, we would get into the mode of changing vibrational patterns, because you can't stop sifting through contrast, and therefore you cannot stop identifying new things that you desire. And because you cannot discontinue the establishing of continuing new things that you desire, there is a vibrational frequency that is being prepaved by you, that is leading you into your future experience. That is, and we really want you to hear this, it's a new standard that's being set by the life that you're living constantly, that you must keep up with if you are to remain balanced, in alignment, and happy. Now, the way it works is, before you got here, you know you were before you got here, yes? One of you knows. You were source energy before you came forth into this physical body. Some call it source. Some call it God. Some call it soul. You were source energy before you came forth into this physical body. And we want to remind you that even though you are here magnificently focused in this wonderful body, you are still much more non-physical energy than you are the physical flesh, blood, and bone you. Even the part of you that is expressing here as the personality that you know as you, that part of you is vibration mostly also. So you have two vibrational vantage points really going on all the time. This source energy vantage point, which is always about love and worthiness and knowing of well-being. And then there's the vantage point that you have achieved as you've been moving about, that could be about love and worthiness and expansion, joyful expansion, or it could be about worrying or frustration or overwhelmment or hatred or anger or not liking that or depression. In other words, there's a big range of emotions that you could have settled in on depending upon the way you let your life touch you. But this workshop is about the art of allowing, and what it really means is it's about the art of letting the contrast inspire you to expansion, but you choosing what aspect of life you train into your vibrational patterns so that you can not just influence, you can control and deliberately create every outcome that comes to you. Nothing is random, nothing comes by chance, nothing is ever asserted into your experience. You are the creator, attractor of every bit of it. But what most don't realize is that you have these two vibrational vantage points going on all the time. There is the soul source part of you, and there is the human, physically focused part of you. And those two vibrational frequencies are playing off of each other all of the time, and that is what equals the emotions that you feel. When you are focused upon something, and you are finding, because of the way you are approaching it, an opinion that matches the opinion of the source within you, the vibrational frequencies of you and you are in alignment, and alignment always feels wonderful. Alignment feels like love. It feels like joy. It feels like eagerness and enthusiasm and passion. It's that tuned in, tapped in, turned on feeling, that feeling of fresh eagerness for life. That's who you are. And when you are choosing an attitude about a subject that matches the attitude about the same subject that the source within you holds, you feel that. Source loves you. When you're down on yourself, you are splitting your energy, and the negative emotion that you feel that you call guilt or depression is your indicator that you're choosing something very different than how the larger, broader, smarter part of you, well, it's a bit judgmental. Larger, broader, older, wiser. The long-term, the eternal you. So here's how it works. You were source energy before you came into this body, and a part of you expressed into this body. And here you explore contrast like you knew you would, like you came to do. You explore contrast, and you define, by virtue of your life, things that you like, things that you don't like, things that you would like to change, things that you would prefer to be different. You just can't help but sorting and sifting and coming to those conclusions all day, every day. And every time you do, you radiate a vibrational signal. You don't even have to put words to it. Your words don't matter anyway. It's the vibration that this vibrational universe is responding to. You emit your preference vibrationally. And when you do, this larger part of you, this part from which you have come, this eternal part of you that sustains you from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime eternally, this non-physical part of you becomes the vibrational equivalent of the new rocket of desire that you just set forth. And a new standard of who you are and what you want has been established by you and held by the larger part of you. The source within you knows. Who would know better than you that when someone is rude to you, you want them to be nicer? Who would know better than you that when you're rude, you want to be nicer? Who would know better than you that when you're sick, you want wellness, and when you're confused, you want clarity, and when there's not enough of something that you want more of it, and when you've got something you don't want, you want an improved situation from that. In other words, source within you knows that you are the pioneer out here on the leading edge of the expanding universe, and when life shows you that you prefer something, it emanates from you in a non-judgmental, perfectly objective way, and the source within you becomes the vibrational equivalent of that, and the larger part of you has expanded just now because of what you just experienced. But there's a big question that now surfaces all day, every day when that happens, which happens all day, every day, and that is the larger part of you expanded. The larger part of you moved to a higher, fuller, broader, bolder frequency. Did you? Did you in your physical form? Did you ask for something and then turn your undivided attention to what you asked for and become the vibrational equivalent of it and therefore close the gap between you and you? Or did you know what you don't want, so you ask for what you do want vibrationally, but now are you, like so many physical friends, are you beating the drum of what you do want by justifying how bad it is over here without it? I want more money, I want more money, I want more money, I want more money. But the vibration is, because I don't have enough, because I don't have enough, because I don't have enough, because I don't have enough. You're using the word want, sounds positive to some. Jerry and Esther get letters about that. But when you have a desire and you are focused upon justifying why you want the desire, in your justification, in your rationalization, in your defending, you're holding yourself on the wrong end of the stick. You're holding yourself in vibrational defiance of what you've asked for. Now that's not a problem in and of itself, because eventually you might come to your senses. But the reason that we're bringing it up to you is because there is a big thing that happens when you are vibrationally defiant of who you are. That's a strong word, isn't it? And if there were a stronger one, we would find it. You are vibrationally defiant. You are vibrationally contradicted. You are vibrationally resistant. You are vibrationally non-allowing. You are vibrationally not letting yourself be who life has caused you to become. But the larger part of you went ahead and became it. But because you didn't go along, there's now a gap between you and you. And your vibrational, you hear people talk about, I want to be balanced. That's what we would mean if we were using the word balance. I want to be centered. That's what we would mean if we were using the word centered. I want to be in alignment. I want to be tuned in, tapped in, turned on. I want to be connected. I want to be in alignment with source energy. I want to see the world, my world, through the eyes of source. I want the opinion of source. I want to train myself into the ever-expanding, loving always, worthy always opinion of source. And when I do that, not only do I feel wonderful, but I thrive. And I thrive because there's no resistance in my frequency that's keeping the thriving away. The thriving will be there on all subjects unless you do that thing you do that holds the thriving away. It's like there is a raining down of everything that you want all around you. But when you're ornery, you've got an umbrella up over your head just making sure none of the good stuff gets on you. It really is that way. If you'd stop doing that thing you do that is preventing it from showering down around you, it would shower down around you. Sometimes healers say, well, I'll tune in, I'll hook to the good stuff, I'll hook to the stream, and then I'll shower it on people. And we say, oh, you think you're going to get under their umbrella, eh? I'll shower it on people. And we say, first of all, they don't need your shower. Everyone's got their own. But if you could be an example of someone who put the umbrella down, who's stopping the resistance, then they could benefit by the clarity of your example as you help them to know that well-being abounds. It's there for all deserve it, all want it. And so the art of allowing is about figuring out that thing you do, or those things you do, those attitudes you have, those opinions you have, those moods you have that keep you vibrationally actively resistant of the well-being that would be there if you weren't doing that, you see. So it's a wonderful thing how you are source and then you come forth and you're still source, but you're leading edge source and you're asking for more and the larger part of you is expanding. And your entire work, if we were standing in your physical shoes, what we would be listening to and paying attention to is, what can I think right now? What can I say right now? What can I do right now that will move me closer in the direction of who I really am? And if you will pay attention to the way you feel, you will notice that you can tell when your thought right here in this moment is pulling you from who you are. And you can tell when your thought right now in this moment is allowing you closer vibrational alignment. But we say to you, even if you have desensitized yourself to your emotions, even if you have trained yourself to put up with negative emotion, even if you're just used to being ornery, so orneriness doesn't bother you, or you're used to being overwhelmed, so being overwhelmed doesn't bother you, or you're accustomed to hating. There's a long list of people to hate. They send it out in the newspaper every day. This is the list of people that you should hate today. And if you don't hate them, you're either with them or with us. So you gotta hate them. When you aren't paying attention, when you've desensitized yourself, so you are taking the view maybe of the world, or maybe of a political party, or maybe of a religion. You're taking the view in pushing against someone, a view that the source within you would never ever take. And so in that view, even though it's politically popular, you are holding yourself apart from who you are. Maybe you got used to that feeling of separation. And we say, don't worry. If you've got negative emotion going on, if there's a split in your energy, if there is a vibrational divergence between who you really are and what you want and what you're consistently thumping along vibrationally day after day, don't worry. If you don't notice the negative emotion and do something to decrease it, it will get bigger. Good, huh? And if you still don't notice, don't worry, it will get bigger. And if you still don't notice, don't worry, it will get bigger. It will get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until eventually you will have a manifestation that will get your attention. It's much easier to clean up your vibration at the emotional level than it is once things begin to manifest. But let's be realistic. You are out here on the leading edge manifestational point. Stuff's manifesting all over the place. You are a veritable manifestational factory. Manifesting, 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 manifesting. Here it is, 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 here it is. You can't stop it. Here it is, here it is. But you can change it. You can morph it. You can mold it. In other words, you can't stop being, and you can't stop being on this manifestational leading edge of creation. But you can care about how it's going, and you can change the direction of your thoughts, and you can reach for greater ease, and you can more often align with who you are, and you can close the gap, and you can get into the vortex where all the good stuff is. Now here's what we mean by this. So you were source energy, you came forth into your physical experience, you're exploring contrast, you're throwing off rockets of desire, which are being held, we're not kidding you, vibrationally by the source within you. Now, you might not remember, but we feel that it is important to remind you that everything that you know that is vibrationally based, that you now see as manifestation, happened just like that. In other words, everything is a vibration first. The vibration prepaves everything. And once thought is thought upon longer and longer and longer, it becomes manifested. When thought is thought, and there's no resistance to the thought, it appears in what you call manifestation. Everything that you see is that way. So when we say to you that you are putting rockets of desire and that the source within you is holding them, we don't want you to say, oh, it's more of that non-physical, metaphysical, mumbo-jumbo stuff. We want you to say, this is the precursor, the pre-paving to all creation, all that is good, all that is eternal, and all that is expansive. So as your rockets of desire go forth, in other words, so you don't have enough money and you ask for more. More money is vibrationally put into this vibrational escrow.